later at 11:30. So next speaker is Dr. Werner Cautreels, CEO from Selecta Biosciences in Watertown, Boston, learning now how to increase clinical translation for nanomedicine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the introduction. Thanks for the organizing committee and for Beat, who worked so hard. And you will understand that he's a bit frustrated with me. So I have some good news and I have some bad news. The bad news is that I will not be able to give my talk today. The good news is the reason why. My company went public, was listed on the NASDAQ only about 3-4 days ago. And as a result, under regulations, I have about 1 month that I cannot talk about the company and about the data. So that's a bit annoying, and Beat is sitting there. But the good news is that this going public, which I can tell you is a very, very stressful process and a very high-intensity process, is for a nanomedicine company. And so today, Selecta Biosciences is listed on NASDAQ, and that was on the basis of preclinical and clinical data we have generated. And I cannot talk about it, but you can always go to the website and look at that. So we are today one of the few companies that were able to, on the basis of the promise of nanomedicine, went public, and you will see more about that. So with Beat and our chairman, I tried to find a solution. Can I talk about something else? And the answer of the attorneys was no, because whatever I say can be held against me, and so I cannot do that. So Beat, I promised that I come back next year. I will have even more things to talk about. So you already have one participant, but. Maybe I can make a few comments on that. So the first thing is, I wouldn't have done these efforts and I wouldn't be standing here if I would be absolutely convinced that nanomedicine will have a bright future and will bring solutions to different diseases. And it can be in different ways, like our previous speakers told us about what you can do with this technology to make existing drugs work and work better and probably cheap. But it will also have applications to, I'm sure, to novel applications. And I think we should not put everything in the same bag. I think there are different bags that we can use. This is my first time actually at Clinam. And I'm very impressed. I think the world needs something like this, where nanomedicine and the clinical application is really handled in detail. I was in the sessions and there are different aspects to that. So I think the initiators about 9 years ago, I think that was a very courageous move, and I think you will be rewarded for that. Yes, we had a topic about translational medicine and how can we do this. I don't think this is very specific for nanomedicine. Translational medicine is something really, really important. It's still very, very difficult. And I see two aspects to this. Prospectively thinking about translational medicine, I don't think a lot of success has been made. There is some success being made. Retrospectively, looking at translational medicine and try to understand why something worked and why something didn't work is better. So there is still a lot of work to be done. My only experience, and this is not just from what I've done recently, is I believe there is only one real good model to look at what a product is doing, and that is the disease in the patient. I think there is a big difference there that I see between big pharma and biotech. I think my recommendation is to go into patients as soon as you can, without making any compromise on whether that on safety, on quality of the work you do. I have extremely good experience, and I'm looking forward to the session this afternoon. I have extremely positive experience with regulatory agencies anywhere, whether that is in Europe or whether that is in the US, to work with companies to go very quickly into patients, provided that you have done your homework. And I think without making shortcuts or anything on quality, I think that's what I need to do. I think this is a big difference between, I mentioned it before, big pharma and biotech. I used to be a big pharma person. I work with big pharma today, and I think there is an opportunity to go into patients very quickly. And this translational medicine, doing checkboxes, is for me not always extremely useful. So there is a lot of we can do. I think that's true also in nanomedicine. Anyway, that's as much as I can say today. I will be here for Q&A. You may have Qs. I may not a lot of As because I may not be able to do that. But I will come back, Beat, as promised, next year. And I'm very frustrated because I think I had a lot to share with you, but I will have to do it next year. So I thank you for that. I apologize that I cannot do better, but I will be around. So thank you.